everybody. Welcome to Live at 4. Mark is on vacation. As you know, he'll be back on Monday. Brady Mallory back with us today. How are you doing?
I am not envious of Mark traveling back here. I'm doing well, though.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Mark, I know, made it to Detroit.
Okay.
But I don't know if he's going to make it to Madison tonight.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody watching has been safe and doing well in this weather.
Yeah, take your time out there. It never hurts to be careful.
No, and we've got more of it to come. That is our top story today. Drivers will be facing blizzard-like conditions in the next 24 hours. Our meteorologists are telling us what to expect.
And we're not alone. This is a gigantic storm affecting dozens of states with predictable results on travel.
And Congress is moving quickly to avoid a government shutdown during the holidays. But first at 4, the snow has been falling all day. And while it's been manageable for the most part, we were just saying road conditions were pretty good. Shout out to all the plow drivers. Conditions are going to get worse.
A big thank you to everyone keeping us safe. A fleet of snow plows is keeping the Beltline open, I'll say. Well, this is what we could be facing this evening and tomorrow. Blizzard conditions in Kansas and nearby states are making travel very difficult with snow and ice-covered roads. And the National Weather Service says wind chills there are as cold as minus 38 degrees.
Let's take a look outside this afternoon. This is a very common scene. We're going to be seeing this for the next couple of days. Julian Seawright has been monitoring conditions for several days. He's out on the weather patio. Julian?
That's right, and that's really what we're going to be watching for is now not just the snow, because this is never going to be just a giant snow type of storm for us, but it was the winds and the cold that were really going to be the biggest threat. So another update for our alert day. Now it's from tonight's going into Saturday as we're progressing throughout the rest of this week. We are looking for some light snow that will carry into this evening, but will start to phase out by the time we get into tonight. Then we're going to be dealing with strong winds that could bring some of this snow that has fallen into blizzard-like conditions because of visibility dropping as we get into the overnights heading into our Friday morning. Power outages are possible because of these strong winds, and since the cold temperatures on the surface will be so low, adding the wind strength right behind it, we could see dangerous wind chills like Susan had just mentioned, below 30-degree temperatures as we get into the rest of the work week and heading into the holiday. An update for our winter weather bulletins. Our friends to the far northwest are under a blizzard warning, which will be issued from 6 p.m. tonight until Saturday morning. All of our advisories and warnings will be ending once we get into our Christmas Eve morning, but we are going to be monitoring those things to stick around for us throughout the rest of this evening. Now, snowfall totals outside, we did see a good amount here at the studio of 5 inches, but many of us didn't see a whole lot of snowfall, which was anticipated for this to be a light snowfall event. And with the winds added to it, we weren't really looking at too much in terms of concrete or lots of snow totals. The snow in itself is continuing to advance its way east, so we're looking at some flurries and light snowfall to really just be what's left for us. But we did have close to around 4 to 2 inches that were for some areas that at least had fallen over the last 24 hours. Wind gusts are starting to pick up for the southwest, but also the wind chills themselves already near 20 degrees below zero out here in Madison, and those are just going to continue to drop as we continue throughout the rest of tonight. And visibility, we're at 1 mile here in Madison, and we're expecting when those winds start to pick up for that to be lower as we head into tonight. So looking ahead, you already saw it's hard to see the Capitol, but temperatures will be well below zero and stay that way going into tonight. Quick look at traffic as of right now. We can see this is a shot on I-39 and 90. Still not too terrible in terms of driving. So if you are looking to get out the house before we start to see everything change for the worse, now between the next couple of hours will be your best opportunity to do so. There are some slow spots and even some still hazards as there's slippery roads along the belt line. So make sure that you're taking it slow before we get into the rest of tonight where things could ice over once again. We'll be walking through the rest of what we can expect from the storm in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Let's take another picture of the Department of Transportation cameras. That combination of cold weather and wind is affecting road conditions. This is the interstate near the DeForest exit. Snow is starting to blow across the highway, and that's making driving difficult. It could get even worse, as Julian said, as night falls and drivers have to navigate through the blowing snow. And as we prepare for the rest of the storm here, there are concerns we might see power outages as we have in previous snowstorms.
Well, that's in part why the governor declared an energy emergency today. Political reporter Will Keneally joins us from the Capitol for more on what that all means. Will?
Well, Brady, the executive order today largely just makes sure that transportation can move smoothly from point A to point B, kind of understanding how bad the roads are expected to be and how long it might take to traverse the roads here. So understanding that is crucial during a snow emergency to make sure that there isn't a shortage of fuels. So this emergency order lists some federal requirements for the truckers that transport the fuel, as well as lifting the limitation on the hours that those workers can drive. So this allows drivers to go for longer periods of time, but it does not force them to drive if it is unsafe to do so. So these provisions could remain in effect theoretically through the end of the year, but will largely expect to remain in effect just while these conditions persist here. In reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. By now, you already know the best thing you can do is to stay off the road to help the plows, but not everyone is free to take that advice. Our Tahalil Moeddin joined Verona Police today on a ride-along and shares how they tackle a day like today.
It seems most drivers have heeded the warnings and stayed off of Verona's roads, but in hazardous conditions like these, Verona Police remains on the lookout. Hitting the road with wind and snow making things difficult for the average driver. Verona Police has their list of priorities. Number 1 on their list, when traffic calls during severe weather include injuries, followed by road blockages and other hazards. Next in line, giving a little push to anyone who's stuck. But even if those calls aren't coming in, Lieutenant Dustin Fairman said they like to stay one step ahead.
Just so I can get a feel of what I'm going to expect. So if I have an emergency vehicle response on the highway here in 15 minutes, I know what to expect before I get there. So I'm evaluating the roads right now for a potential emergency vehicle operation in the future.
Fairman says it's not uncommon for officers to come across incidents that need their help even before being dispatched. He also says what gets most people in trouble is their speed. He estimates speed is a factor in 9 of 10 crashes and slide-offs. A reminder, on days like today, you can't speed up or, more importantly, slow down as fast as usual, so take it easy. In Verona, Tahalil Moeddin, News 3 Now.
Well, the storm has also forced the cancellation of the Wisconsin men's basketball game against Grambling State. The teams were supposed to face off tomorrow, but officials decided to cancel the game, saying it won't be rescheduled. All ticket holders will be sent an email with more information. The Badgers will be back on the court next Friday when they take on Western Michigan at the Kohl Center. Flights in and out of the Dane County Airport have continued all day. Some planes are delayed, though, but there have only been a handful of canceled flights. That hasn't been the case, though. However, in many other places, thousands of flights have been canceled nationwide as a powerful winter storm moves across the country. Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
It's a race to the gates at airports across the country, with Mother Nature in hot pursuit.
I was a little nervous about getting caught in the snow.
My flight should be early enough that I can make it out.
We have all 40 passes up.
Millions of travelers scrambled to reach their destinations Thursday, battling what's being called a once-in-a-generation winter storm.
It's our first time flying with a little one, so it's a little extra anxiety coming in.
This mother-daughter duo from Australia got stuck trying to get home after a trip to New York City.
Our flight yesterday was cancelled, and instead of arriving 23rd of December, I'm hoping to arrive Christmas Eve.
Thousands of flights were canceled nationwide, most of them at airports in Denver and Chicago. American, Delta, and other major airlines are waiving some change fees to encourage travelers to avoid the storm. But many planes are already packed, making it difficult to find empty seats. It's no better on the roads. The Minneapolis-St. Paul region saw record snowfall Wednesday, while icy conditions led to this crash in Iowa. President Biden issued a warning as temperatures across the Central High Plains plummeted 50 degrees in just a few hours.
It's not like a snow day, you know, when you're a kid. This is serious stuff.
I got 2 sets of twins, and we are staying home.
People in the South are also bracing for a rare hard freeze, making for dangerous road conditions. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
President Biden says his team has already been in contact with 26 governors in affected regions.
While most schools are on holiday break now, a few schools that had classes scheduled for tomorrow have now canceled. You can find that list along with the latest radar and road conditions on our First Warn Forecast weather app. And we also have everything you need to know on our website. Look for a special section at the top of our homepage, channel3000.com. You'll find weather alerts, a list of closed businesses and canceled services, and what to do if your vehicle gets stuck in the snow.
Congress is on the verge of avoiding a government shutdown. The Senate has passed a $1.7 trillion spending bill. The breakthrough came after negotiators struck a deal with Utah Senator Mike Lee to allow a vote on an amendment that would withhold some DHS funding unless the Biden administration keeps Title 42 in place. Now, that's the pandemic-era measure that allows migrants to be kept out of the country on public health grounds.
During our recent border crisis, Title 42 has become the only sustained control we have over illegal immigration.
The Lee amendment failed to get the 50 votes necessary to pass. The current funding runs out at midnight, but Mother Nature may have played a bigger role in getting this done quickly. The House still has to approve the amended bill, but that is not likely to be an issue.
After being delayed by a day, the House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol is set to release its final report today. The report comes just days after the panel unanimously voted to recommend the Department of Justice pursue 4 criminal charges against former President Donald Trump. The recommended charges relate to his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Trump maintains he did nothing wrong on January 6th and has repeatedly called the committee's investigation a witch hunt.
And this is proper behavior for one of Santa's elves. In this case, the elf is Michigan State basketball coach Tom Izzo. He isn't happy with a call by a ref at a game versus Oakland. Now, everybody knows that Izzo is generally not a happy man at games, but it doesn't seem to be appropriate to be behaving like this during the holiday season when he's supposed to be in the Christmas spirit. He even has a sweater on. Michigan State did go on to win.
I do like the sweater, but it didn't help.
It helps balance,
yes,
I guess.
Yes. Well, coming up next, we're going to get some year-end tax advice.
Okay, that makes me a grouch now, tax season. Well, we're featuring the sounds of the season today and tomorrow on Live at 4. Today, it's an encore performance of Tuba Christmas. Now, here's its version of Joy to the World.
Asked people to give their honest feedback on how wrinkles around their eye area and under-eye puffiness looked after trying Tint and Tighten for the first time.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of, you just cover up and conceal things, but with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone, so you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
40s is a bit of a shocker for me because 40s, I noticed the skin under my eye is getting very loose, and then 50s hit, and I'm 54, and I really noticed the difference in the firmness of my skin here, and especially here. I'm glad there's products like Tint and Tighten out there so that I can just put this on and not worry about what I didn't do in my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s, and it looks like I always have. It's a pleasure, and it's actually a gift for anyone.
Tint and Tighten shrinks under-eye puffiness, smooths out wrinkles and fine lines around the eye area, and provides tinted coverage to hide dark circles and skin imperfections, making you look fresh and younger. weather. Tint and Tighten is the only cosmetic that blends a beautiful tinted cream to cover uneven skin tone and dark circles with silicate technology that smooths out under-eye puffiness and wrinkles, making the skin around your eye area look flawless for up to 8 hours.
I will be turning 59 in June of this year. Using Tint and Tighten, for me, I'm actually very confident right now that my wrinkles won't be as obvious. It is giving me the support that I think reminds me that I'm at my best right now.
Finally, there's a tinted eye cream to cover dark circles and uneven skin tone. And since Tint and Tighten works in 10 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours, you can look your best without getting injections or fillers. Get beautiful, lightweight, tinted coverage, plus that smoother, younger, wrinkle-free look from years past in 10 minutes. A look that will make you feel beautiful and confident. Try it this holiday season for only $19.95. Plus, get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
After driving cattle in the 1880s, hitting the hay could be a literal experience. But some lucky cowpokes got to sack out in a brand new Sealy mattress. And after 140 years, Sealy is still delivering a great night's sleep. That's why Denver Mattress is proud to offer the Sealy Posturepedic Plus Hybrid with cool-to-touch covers, body-hugging memory foams, and motion-reducing coils. You'll sleep cooler and more comfortably all night long. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Sealy.
Oh, we were both ready.
We both did it at the same time. Go ahead.
Disgraced cryptocurrency founder Sam Bankman-Fried was released today on a $250 million bond.
The 30-year-old Bankman-Fried made his first court appearance in New York after being extradited from the Bahamas to face fraud charges for the collapse of his company, FTX. He was indicted on 8 counts after being accused of taking billions of dollars from his customers and investors in his cryptocurrency exchange platform. He will be kept under house arrest at the home of his parents in Palo Alto, California.
The December sell-off continues on Wall Street after a brief respite. The Dow Industrials dropped 350 points, while the Nasdaq was down 235 and the S&P dropped 56.
As the end of the year approaches, you're going to start getting more than just Christmas cards in the mail.
It's the many documents you'll need to file your tax return, and the time to start collecting them is actually now.
Mary Mellum is with Ashwaubenon Tax Professionals, and she has advice on how to get your tax preparation checklist going. I can't believe we're already talking about that. Hi, Mary.
Ticking.
Good to see you.
Hello, Susan. Hello, Brady. It's nice to see both of you.
I guess for you, tax time never ends, right?
That is correct.
But now is the time to get your documentation together. What are some of the things you need to be looking for?
Well, first of all, after the first of the year, about the end of January, you'll start getting the W-2s and other things from your banks and rent and things like that. But by the end of what you should be thinking about is the things that you need to do by the end of the year. There are, if you want to make charitable contributions, they need to be in the mail or made online by December 31st. And you also need to keep records of those charitable contributions, because without that, you cannot deduct them. This year, you will have to itemize to do charitable contributions, unlike what we've been able to do in the last couple of years. So it is itemizing, but they're important nonetheless. If you don't itemize and you are retired and age 70 and a half or over, you can direct money out of your IRA to go directly to a charity. It's called a qualified charitable deduction, QCD. And you would have to make contact with your custodian of your IRA to make that happen before the end of the year.
So it sounds like it is really important to maybe keep all of that documentation as you go through the year, so it's all ready for you.
That's an excellent idea.
Well done, Brady. See, you're doing it right.
I've learned a thing or two.
Mary, I heard that the IRS has been warning some taxpayers this year that the refunds are going to be less than they may be expecting. Why is that?
The last 2 years, because of COVID, we've had a big difference because of the stimulus money, because of some of the change in law, making larger child tax credit payments, things like that. Since that happened, people were maybe getting more money than they did either through the year or at tax time. And all of that is gone as we know it now. So things may be smaller than they were last year just because of the free money, so to speak, that's gone.
Well, do you have any advice for families on how to prepare for that or how to look for that change and see if how it affects them?
I think possibly if they could go back to take a look at their tax returns back about 2 years pre-pandemic and take a look at the way it looked then and compare the numbers, maybe their wages and things to that, it might be a little bit easier for them to see what that looked like that year, and it might be more like what's going on now. Just don't spend the money before you have it because it may be different.
Sure.
It seems to get more complicated every single year.
Right.
What are some other things, the key things you want people to be thinking about as the year comes to an end?
Well, property taxes, for one thing. The state of Wisconsin gives a $300 credit for property taxes that are paid during the year. You need to have paid in $2,500 by the end of the year in order to get the full credit. And that time is coming soon. So that's a credit you don't want to miss out on, Wisconsin.
Well, and April 15th seems like a long way away, but it will be here before we know it. Do you always encourage people to do this as soon as possible and just get it out of the way?
The sooner you file, the better. IRS is behind. They are over, I think it's about 3 million returns from 2021. The returns that were filed during 2022 that have not been processed yet for one reason or another. And so they're going to be playing catch up plus trying to keep up with this year. So I guess my best advice is be patient. Do electronic filing if you can. Do direct deposit if you can. Those are the best ways to get the money to you with the least amount of hassle.
Great advice.
Yes.
Mary, how's the snow up in Ashwaubenon? Did you get a lot of snow up there?
We are, and it is continuing to snow, and things are closing down around here, just like your weather message said. We're getting it up here, too.
Okay. Well, happy holidays to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Great information.
Thank you.
You are welcome, and happy holidays to all of you.
Well, up next, we have an inspirational reunion story that's coming up on Live at 4.
2 women whose families bonded when they were babies have reunited. They had organ transplants 35 years ago when there were so many unknowns. That story is coming up after Julian's forecast.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
He was the local kid who loved to make people laugh. Now learn how Chris Farley found his comedic voice right here in his hometown. Madison Magazine takes you inside the early years before the world met Chris. Madison Magazine, online and on newsstands now.
Want to know right now what the weather will be like tomorrow? Download the First Warn Weather app and you'll get my customized forecast for tonight and tomorrow.
The First Warn Weather app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now.
Start the new year off right during the final days of the Ford Shine Bright sales event. Don't miss your chance to choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Plus, new inventory is still arriving daily, so you could drive one home today. This season, get into a 2022 Explorer SUV with 2.9% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Our secret? At SelectQuote, we aggressively comparison shop up to 10 highly rated companies to find you the company with the best rates. Why pay more? Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Some numbers are thrilling, some impressive, some just right. After an accident, there's one critical number. The number that helps you get your life back by factoring in your needs for today and tomorrow. That's where Habish and Rotier's numbers really add up. With over 90 years of client successes and 13 offices to help you wherever you are. No other personal injury law firm is better suited to get the amount that's right for you.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Well, take a look at this. A New Hampshire family opened a time capsule. I bet that's fun. It's been buried for 25 years. Ooh. It took them 6 hours to find the exact spot where they buried the capsule back in 1999. And they found some pre-millennium Glory Days memories, and they even recreated a priceless baby picture with their now adult son.
Oh, that's such a great idea. I wish I would have done that when my son was born.
I see a lot of things that remind me of 1999.
Yes, exactly.
Pre-Y2K, remember that?
And that's the catch, remembering where it is.
Yeah.
Remembering where you put it. Yeah.
I would forget. I would too, honestly.
Well, today would be under snow and ice and wind, and the wind is really going to be the big story, right?
Yeah, the wind and the cold. That's really our next dual threats for us over the next few hours. So we're going to be walking through what we can expect and a little bit of details to kind of just time things out on those impacts coming up after the break.
Okay, but before we get to that snowy forecast, sorry, we have another selection from Tuba Christmas. We don't want to miss that. Oh, come all ye faithful.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
My favorite thing about the Power Swabs is that I was actually able to take the swab and really get through some of those areas that are kind of like untreated. I felt like I can immediately see the results, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely starting to see the shades getting brighter and brighter, or whiter and whiter.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This holiday season, order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off. And as an added bonus, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick Pen with your order. The Quick Stick Pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick Pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, everyone, we are now into the thick of it. Our winter storm has now been bringing in snow. It's rather light, but now we got to watch for the changes that look to come as we get into this evening. Now, a lot of words of blizzard has been thrown around throughout much of southern Wisconsin and even for the upper Midwest in itself. But let's go ahead and just clarify what a blizzard is, because many of us have this stigma that it is really just bringing in plenty of snowfall, but that's not really the case. The case is when we see sustained winds of 35 miles per hour or more being sustained over about a 3-hour period. That lowers visibility from any blowing snow to a quarter of a mile within that time frame. That's why we've been saying we are looking for potential of seeing those blizzard-like conditions as we get into this evening, as winds look to ramp up into around that 35 miles per hour category, and on top of it could be lowering that visibility to that quarter mile because of the snowfall that we have seen that's fresh on the ground and any light flurries that will be still sticking around for us as we get into tonight. Now, looking at our radar, it's starting to be just some light flurries and snow that's left here in Dane County as the system is continuing to push and march its way east. Now, as we go for the next few hours, we're not going to be seeing a whole lot of snowfall, but the winds and cold will be our next threat. So for tonight's going into Saturday, our alert day is going to be still in effect for us. Light snow for the rest of the afternoon hours, close to the evening, where the strong winds near blizzard-like conditions will be sticking around for us, and we could be seeing power outages as an issue because of those strong winds. And then right behind it, as temperatures continue to fall, right now it's 2 degrees below zero outside on the surface, but it feels like the double digits below zero. Now, as we take a look at our winter weather bulletins, we can see our friends to the far northwest, western side of northern Wisconsin are under a blizzard warning, which will be issued at 6 p.m. this evening until 6 a.m. going into Saturday. And we're looking for our winter storm warning to be in effect throughout that time period as well. So let's go ahead and march through the rest of what we're going to be expecting for us here in southern Wisconsin. The snow in itself is pretty much going to be ending once we get into tonight. You may see a couple of flurries, but light snowfall and accumulating snow is going to be done with. Now we're going to be looking at temperatures on the surface to be well below zero, and on top of it, the northwesterly winds are going to take over southern Wisconsin throughout the next about 2 days. On top of it, we are still looking at blowing snow for many areas. So one thing to definitely be watching for is the more rural areas that could be seeing a couple of more inches of snowfall and how it's going to be blowing over the next couple of days, really making travel not only just dangerous, but not even possible for many areas, especially just west near Mount Horeb of Dane County by the time we get into our Friday and heading into the rest of our Friday afternoon and evening hours as well. So make sure that you're paying attention to what's happening outside. And if you feel like you need to go somewhere, you probably don't, at least not throughout the next 24 hours, especially until we get into our late Saturday. But we are still looking at those winds to really still be rather strong and potent throughout the course of the rest of this weekend, and especially as we head into our Christmas Eve, close to our Christmas Day. So let's go ahead and see when those winds will really start to ramp up. Later into tonight, we're looking for 30 miles per hour winds and even more to really start to move its way into the upper Midwest. And that's where the cold front in itself is really going to be taking hold of upper Midwest as we get into the rest of our overnight, transitioning into Friday morning. Wind speeds will be going from 40 to mid 40s, and even some areas a bit stronger, but we're looking at to really be sustained throughout the course of the Friday. As you saw, those 40 miles per hour gusts were not moving, and as we get into our Saturday, it's still not dying down. Until we get into Sunday, it's going to start to taper off. So Christmas Day, we are finally going to see a bit of relief in terms of those winds. Now, wind chills, however, going into tonight, we could be seeing 30 degrees below zero outside for us here, and even colder by the time we get into our Friday morning. We're looking for another round of it going into Friday night. It's still going to be rather chilly, and some areas could even see dangerously cold temperatures for us here in southern Wisconsin and areas into even northern Illinois. Here's a look at our 10-day forecast. We do have the alert days still in effect for tomorrow and going into our Saturday. Heading into the weekend, it will be cold, and we're not looking at much in terms of relief until we get into the back end of next week. Also be careful because we are watching for those wind chills to still be one of the bigger issues even heading into our Christmas Day. And of course, we've been mentioning this. Try not to have to feel like you need to leave tomorrow, because tomorrow looks like to be one day where it's like it's best to just stay home. Saturday, travel may improve just a bit, but still something to monitor over the next couple of days.
But then look at next week. It's going to be in the low 40s.
It's back to normal. Well, a little bit warmer than normal, but it's like, hey, sorry.
Late Christmas gift for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right before the new year. Gotta love that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
that's
Julian.
good timing. Thank you, Julian. Two women whose families bonded when they were babies have been reunited.
Yeah, they had organ transplants 35 years ago, and back then there were just a lot of unknowns. Now, 3 decades later, they're inspiring others.
Stephanie Stahl has their story.
A reunion, together now as wives and mothers, something that was never assured.
It's been a long road for both of us.
Catherine Strickland and Anna Fishman had liver transplants as babies, a rarity in 1987. Their parents, who met at the hospital, bonded through the process, and so did the girls.
We were little, but we did form such a special bond. You know, it's such a unique thing to go through, and we kept in touch.
As children, they shared beach vacations, but ended up living in different states as adults, communicating mainly through texts.
It's so wonderful to have a friend who's been through the same experience.
They both have children now who met here for the first time. Catherine and Anna are part of the Transplant Pregnancy Registry that helps patients have families.
As long as their organ is working well and they're on medication safe for pregnancy, they actually do very well with pregnancy after transplant. So I think people don't even know that it's a possibility.
Here, together for the first time in 20 years with their families, sharing an early holiday meal at Philadelphia's Gift of Life House.
We're so grateful.
And their gratitude still extends to the donor families who made it all possible.
To make a selfless decision to save other lives, during their time of sorrow.
Living examples of the gift of life. These transplant patients are now lifelong friends. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
What a remarkable story. They haven't changed much either. The pictures are so great.
Yeah. Oh,
The
great
Transplant Pregnancy Registry has an ongoing study that's following almost 5,000 transplant patients all the way through parenthood since 1991.
Well, our Doctor on Call, Zorba Pastor, is up next.
And then coming up next hour at 5, reporter Catherine Merck rode along with a snowplow driver today as he was facing bad rural road conditions. You'll get a front row seat right there at what it's like to deal with this storm coming up at 5.
Happy holidays from our Dwellings family to yours.
Happy holidays.
Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable, Your home doesn't have to be. Whether you're looking for all the advanced features or something with a lower upfront cost, with Rheem heating equipment, you can stay comfortable even in the most uncomfortable situations.
Oh, come on! Yes, let's go!
Feel the Wohlers difference. Call Wohlers Heating and Air Conditioning today, serving Dane County for over 45 years.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who'll keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
New at 5, team coverage tonight on the major winter storm hitting our area. Catherine Merck is on the roads with a snowplow crew in Prairie du Sac.
Light snow continues to plague much of southern Wisconsin, but the winds look to pick up by the time we get into the later evening. We'll take a look at this coming up at 5.
And ahead at 6, an energy emergency has been declared in Wisconsin. Reporter Will Keneally brings you the newest updates from Governor Tony Evers. That's tonight at 6.
Wishing you a joyous holiday season and new year filled with peace and joy. Happy holidays from Sunday Morning.
Isn't it nice
Thank
of
you,
Jane, Gail, Nora to personally wish us?
I like it very much. We should do that next year for everybody
Send
else.
them one, yeah.
Pay it forward. Well, doctors, everybody is closely watching a surge of viruses that are just inundating us this holiday season.
It's the worst flu outbreak in a decade, and COVID, that's still with us.
Yep, Dr. Zorba Pastor joins us this afternoon. He took the right advice. He's home, safe and warm.
Decked out for the holidays.
Zorba, you look
wearing
great.
the right clothes, and I've got the right hat on.
You look great. And I want to let everybody know we're going to be taking your calls coming up in the next segment. So Brady and I will let you know when it's time to call in.
Celebrate home for the holidays at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Save up to 30% off appliances like this Bosch dishwasher, now only $549. Plus special financing for 5 years, no money down. At Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley off the Beltline in East Springs Drive.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
Oh yeah, it's Globetrotter game time. Get ready for the Harlem Globetrotters 2023 World Tour. Presented by Jersey Mike Subs. All new, non-stop action, amazing basketball skills, 4-point shots, high-flying dunks, and more. Get tickets for the whole family, where you can be part of the action. Playing Alliant Energy Center on December 30th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com.
It's Steinhaffel's winter mattress sale. Now's the time to snuggle up with a new Beauty Rest mattress. Queen Beauty Rest mattresses start at just $449 and get $200 in Steinhaffel's cash when you upgrade to the new redesigned Beauty Rest Black. More luxurious and comfortable than ever. Get comfy and pay only $49 a month for a Beauty Rest Black Queen mattress with Steinhaffel's 72-month financing. The winter mattress sale, only at Steinhaffel's and steinhaffels.com.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups, or get $1,500 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get $2,500 cash allowance.
Yes, I'm a smoker. And yes, I'm aware I should quit. I get pressure from everyone I love and everything around me.
Smoking is really, really bad for you.
Yet sometimes that pressure alone is enough to make me want to light up.
The Wisconsin Tobacco Quit Line. No judgments, just free help and medications. Without the lectures, call the Wisconsin Tobacco Quit Line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Celebrate home for the holidays at Ashley. Save big on furniture and mattresses with discounts from 30% off and up to 83% off on closeouts. Plus, our gift to you, free white glove delivery. Furnish your room for less than $20 a month, only at Ashley.
And a quick update on our traffic. What we're seeing as of right now on the I-39, still rather smooth as we're kicking off the rest of our evening hours. But what we're really going to be looking at as the belt line as of right now, there's a crash that has been reported, which was slowing things down on the right shoulder. This is eastbound of the belt line as of right now. So expect some delays as you're going to be traveling this evening, and as things get, as we get later into the rest of this evening as well, expect some more of those slippery spots and even visibility as well for the weather to really impact it. So make sure that you're giving yourself extra time and taking it slow if you have to hit the roads. So we're going to do it for our traffic update. Let's go ahead and send it back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Well, now is the time to pick up the phone if you have a question for Dr. Zorba Pastor. The number to call is 608-270-9933, and the phones are wide open. So it's a great day to call if you have a question.
Well, we were talking about the flu and how there are just so many cases right now inundating hospitals. So, Zorba, what's leading to that? Why do we have this big explosion of flu cases?
Well, first of all, you know, this is flu season. And flu season has been different over the last couple of years because we've masked up with COVID. So we really haven't had much of a flu season if you look back for the last couple of years. So first of all, we don't have antibodies to the other flu vaccines, or rather the other flu that was around in the last couple of years. But the real issue is that only about 30 to 35% of the people in Wisconsin have received their flu immunizations. And the best way from getting the flu is to get your flu shot, and it's not too late. You can get your flu shot at so many pharmacies, your doctor's office, and the fact is that's the best way to keep from getting the flu. Tamiflu is a drug that we use after you get the flu, but frankly, it's not as effective as the vaccine, and this year, the vaccine is dynamite. It really, really works. They take a guess at what the flu is going to be like, and the guess the Feds did this year was perfect.
Oh, that's good to hear. COVID, unfortunately, is still with us, and now there are some new variants out there. How much protection do you think we have from the new variants that are emerging?
Well, you know, I think we've got some pretty good protection, but once again, if you're going to get your flu shot, get your COVID shot also. I mean, they're both available at the pharmacy. They're both free of charge. They're both paid for with our federal tax dollars. And the fact is that's the best way to basically stay healthy. But the fact is the present COVID that's around is very, very, very contagious. Now, the good news is that so many of us are immunized are not really producing a tremendous spike in hospitalizations. But still, if you're over the age of 65, that is the greatest risk factor, as well as people who have other problems such as autoimmune disease. So get your COVID shot, get your flu shot. That's the best way to treat it.
Well, speaking of flu shot, Sally from Sun Prairie has a question about that topic. Sally, what's your question?
I would like to know if they have determined the efficacy of the present shot that they're giving. Is there enough studies done, or have there been done, so that we know if what we got is going to work?
You bet. And the answer is yes. We know that this particular shot is great this year. So the answer is it's a really good flu vaccine. And so roll up your sleeves and get immunized.
Hold on.
All right, let's go to Alan in Baraboo. Hi, Alan. What's your question?
Hi. I had the flu for about 3 weeks, and the residual after effects that I have a left plugged ear, and I'm wondering what I could do to relieve the pressure on that ear.
Well,
I tried
sometimes
ear
just
drops.
taking an over-the-counter, a decongestant, such as Sudafed, may help relieve the pressure. But you can also get, Flonase, which is fluticasone nasal spray, over-the-counter, 2 squirts in each nostril once or twice a day. Way in the back of the nostril might just open up your eustachian tube. That's the tube between your nose and your ears. You know, when you blow your nose and you pop your ears, that tube may be inflamed, and a little bit of steroid nasal spray might just do the trick.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for calling today.
All right, Charlie from Richland Center, what's your question?
I'm calling about all the variants of the COVID that are out there. I got my COVID shot, the 5th one, about a month ago, and I'm wondering how good a protection I have against these new COVID vaccines.
The answer is pretty good protection. Is it perfect protection? Nothing is perfect when it comes to immunizations, but it's really good. And most people who are fully immunized, when they get COVID, if they get it, don't end up in the hospital, don't end up in the ICU, don't end up, in something serious. Usually people feel pretty ill, but they are not super ill. So the answer is yes. Your immunizations are exactly where you want it to be.
Okay, thank you for calling. Let's go to Tina in Sun Prairie. Tina, we're getting a little tight for time. What's your question?
My question is I got the
third booster?
Booster, yeah, and I got so sick. I was sick for 3 weeks, and I'm scared to get the other one.
Well, that's where you should really call your doctor and talk to them and find out whether or not you were sick from that or from something else, because you don't want to make a decision that's wrong, and it may be still the right decision to get the next booster. So talk to your doc. That's the best answer I can give you.
Well, yeah, and I got immune deficiency disorder, too.
So that's really important for you to double check. Super important.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for calling. Thanks, everybody, for all of your calls. We really appreciate it. We're out of time.
Yeah, goes so fast.
It did go so fast. Zorba, have a wonderful holiday. Thank you so much.
Same for you guys.
All right.
Happy holidays.
We have to get you that blazer. That thing is outstanding.
I want that hat. All right. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
This holiday season at the Century House, give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Our secret? At SelectQuote, we aggressively comparison shop up to 10 highly rated companies to find you the company with the best rates. Why pay more? Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
JC tried Game Flings for the first time the other day and forgot where she was. You can always spot a first-timer. Game Flings with Oxy Boost and Febreze.
Coming up, we're riding along with a plow crew in Prairie du Sac showing you the latest road conditions.
With the winter storm possibly bringing in blizzard-like conditions, we'll be breaking down how you can stay safe coming up tonight at 5.
Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info. Keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified, most accurate team, First Warn Weather. Only on News 3 Now.
And another reminder of our alert day. It's going to be from tonight into Saturday. We're looking at light snow to start to end for the rest of tonight, but we're going to be seeing the changeup of very strong winds that could be near blizzard-like conditions. Power outages will be possible and dangerous wind chills as well. We're looking for temperatures as of right now already well below zero, and those wind chills are going to continue to fall as we continue into tonight. We'll take a look at this coming up at 5.
All right, we'll see you at 5, Julian. Thank you. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4. We'll wrap up the week with the News Hounds.
They've been busy while Mark's been away. And a wild and wondrous look back at the craziest viral stories and trends of 2022.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
We asked people to give their honest feedback on how wrinkles around their eye area and under-eye puffiness looked after trying Tint and Tighten for the first time.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of, you just cover up and conceal things. But with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone. So you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
40s is a bit of a shocker for me because 40s, I noticed the skin under my eye is getting very loose. And then 50s hit, and I'm 54, and I really noticed the difference in the firmness of my skin here, and especially here. I'm glad there's products like Tint and Tighten out there so that I can just put this on and not worry about what I didn't do in my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s, and it looks like I always have. It's a pleasure, and it's actually a gift for anyone.
Tint and Tighten shrinks under-eye puffiness, smooths out wrinkles and fine lines around the eye area, and provides tinted coverage to hide dark circles and skin imperfections, making you look fresh and younger. Tint and Tighten is the only cosmetic that blends a beautiful tinted cream to cover uneven skin tone and dark circles with silicate technology that smooths out under-eye puffiness and wrinkles, making the skin around your eye area look flawless for up to 8 hours.
I will be turning 59 in June of this year. Using Tint and Tighten, for me, I'm actually very confident right now that my wrinkles won't be as obvious. It is giving me the support that I think reminds me that I'm at my best right now.
Finally, there's a tinted eye cream to cover dark circles and uneven skin tone. And since Tint and Tighten works in 10 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours, you can look your best without getting injections or fillers. Get beautiful, lightweight, tinted coverage, plus that smoother, younger, wrinkle-free look from years past in 10 minutes. A look that will make you feel beautiful and confident. Try it this holiday season for only $19.95, plus get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
In our final touch today, the classic Christmas carol Silent Night from Tuba Christmas.
Yeah, enjoy, and we will see you tomorrow.